Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Monday, October 29th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, as you probably know, they had an election in Brazil, and Brazil has a new president-elect, Mr. Bolsonaro. A lot of excitement down in Brazil. It was a big election. He got 55% of the vote. It came down to like 55-45, roughly that. He got 57 million votes. That's a big number. So it's a big victory, and we congratulate the president-elect of Brazil. Now, there's a lot of excitement. There's obviously a lot of negativity coming from the left. You're already seeing some articles in the press about, the right-winger and the fascist and all of that. And of course, that's to be expected, but I don't think that's going to matter a great deal to Mr. Bolsonaro. Now, he faces some very tough challenges. Let's not kid ourselves. There are some tough problems that he's got to deal with. And as we saw in Argentina, you can elect someone from the center right or even from the right, and you still have within the bureaucracy and with the labor unions and all of that, you still have the opposition that will probably try to litigate and make his life difficult. So I hope he's ready for that. I think he is. He strikes me as the kind of man who has the right personality for this. I think he's a tough guy who I don't think will be intimidated by the opposition, but I hope he understands that the opposition is just because they lose an election, it doesn't mean that they graciously walk away. I have a couple of recommendations for the president-elect. I'm sure that a lot of people want him to do this and do that, and I understand that. I'm not in Brazil, therefore I don't have obviously the same interest as someone there. But I have two recommendations for him that I hope he will take into account. Number one, I would like to see him focus on the crime problem. If he does that and goes head on and use the military if necessary, take over some of these towns where the violence is a problem, declare martial law wherever it's necessary in these towns or communities. I think if he does that, most of the people living in those communities are going to become very big fans of President Bolsonaro, because the people who are really being hurt by all of this violence, not the rich people. They have gates, they have protection, they have bodyguards, and so on. It's really the poor people who have to live inside all of this crime, and in many cases are the victims of the crime. So I think number one, he should focus exclusively on the crime. Number one, that should be it. That should be his number one priority. Clean up the streets and make sure that mothers can send their children to school, for example, without having to worry about violence. I think that's the most important thing that he has to do, in my opinion. Secondly, I would like to see him become an international leader and basically become the leader of the anti-Venezuela movement in Latin America. This is what's really lacking right now in Latin America, is a strong leader who's willing to recognize the threat of Venezuela to the region, whether it's the Colombia region where you've got people coming in, or whether it's Brazil where you have Venezuelans coming in. I think it would be nice to have a leader of Latin America, in a sense, become the anti-Maduro leader who will stand up to Maduro and call Maduro what he is, a threat not just to the people of Venezuela, but a threat to the region. So I hope he focuses on those two things. I'm sure that people in Brazil want him to do other things, and I understand that. From my point of view, those are the two things that I believe he should do. Number one, focus exclusively on the crime problem. And number two, become a Latin American leader and become the anti-Maduro leader of Latin America and begin to focus on the threat that Maduro poses to not just Colombia, but frankly, the entire region, including Brazil. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these over on YouTube, we have them on Twitter, and we have them on my blog. And if October 29th is your birthday, happy birthday. And to all my friends in Brazil, I got several messages from some of them who watched one of these last videos. Thank you very much for your support. I hope you like them, and I hope you continue watching. Bye-bye, everybody.